Page.
Hello, we are live, and this is the Bold Team Tuesday Night Hangout. Welcome. Uh, every Tuesday night we are here at 8 o'clock Eastern, and we talk about all things business. So first, there's just a few of us tonight, but that's okay. We'll carry the party on. So let's introduce ourselves, and then we'll get right into the topic. So let's see, Jamie, dancing over there. Will you come out?
Well, I'm just following suit from Ellie. She was like, Jamie Donnelly, New Jersey, internet mogul. Okay, MLSP award winner. All right, I'm just going to say that. Find me at Jamie Donnelly on Facebook, and then you can see me get my award. I'm not bragging. Go ahead, next.
I know, that's awesome, yay! And Carol and Ellie also got their award, yay! So, Ellie, come on out and say hi.
Hi, Ellie Walsh, upstate New York. I got an award. We were all on stage. We had a great time. If we're like this tonight, it's because we just come back from a freaking awesome event. It was an awesome event, it was. It was really about helping people change their lives, and that's why I'm here. And that's why we do this hangout every week. We come here to help people change their lives, and I know it happens. See, it's not even like a make-believe. We actually do help people change their lives. So I'm really excited to be here. Looking forward to your topic tonight. And this is a little bit of us, because here's the greatest thing. We work at home. We have different schedules, and we're all still able to change our lives and help other people's lives. So that's the beauty of all of this. So take it away.
Thank you. And that's also the beauty of having an awesome team, because, you've got a team of 20 people. You got people on the East Coast, on the Pacific Coast. Everybody's available at any specific time. If Ellie's not available, I'm available. If I'm not available, Catherine's available, or Danny, or Deb, or anybody. Jamie. So anyway, Carol, come on out and say hey.
Yeah, hi, I'm Carol Mikowski from upstate New York, at the other end of the house from Ellie. And as Ellie said, we just came back from, in the wee hours of the morning today, from a live event in Austin, Texas. And we're both pumped up and exhausted at the same time, so try to figure that out. This is a great topic. It actually dovetails very nicely with some of the things that were discussed over the weekend at the event. So I'm looking forward to hear what Michelle has to say, and hopefully to have something to say about it. And I'm going to excuse myself for like 2 minutes. There's a storm brewing here, and I just want to make sure doors and windows are closed, and I'll be right back, but I can still hear you.
Okay, well, if my internet gets a little laggy, there's storms going on here too, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so I am Michelle Eves, and I am an online network marketer, affiliate marketer, you name it, that's what I am. And so what I want to share with you tonight is kind of an extension of what I talked about a few weeks ago, which was about the book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And yes, I talk with my hands, so I'm going to be going like that a lot. So, just to recap, what the Slight Edge is, it's making decisions that will help improve your life, improve your business, and they're the decisions that are easy to make, that we know we need to make. And they're also the decisions that are very easy not to make. And so along that line, he also talks about habits and how we can create new habits, replace the old habits. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. And I have some notes here, so I will be referring to them, so excuse me for that. But, I can't memorize anything. I'm getting old now, so. Anyway, we all want to be successful, right? We want our businesses to grow. We want to become the leaders we believe we can be. You know, we even want the $1 million paycheck to go along with it, and the freedom that that brings, and the peace of mind, and, you know, all that stuff like that. One problem that I see everybody making is that, you know, we all have our own ideas of what it will take for us to be successful. You know, we want it so badly. We want to be like so and so over there. We want to make $1 million like so and so, and we want to, you know, we want to build a very successful business like this person. The thing is that, you know, we don't listen to them and to what they did to get that success, right? We hear all the time from these big time successful leaders, and they say, you know, we create the habits, we do the mindset, the meditation, the personal development, you know, all of that stuff. We don't want to listen to that. We don't want to do any of that. We just want to be successful right now. Okay? But, you know, we need to listen to those people. They did it. We didn't do it, not yet. But if we follow in their footsteps and we create the habits that they've created, then we too can find the success that they found. So J. Paul Getty, who was one of the world's first billionaires, and in his lifetime was known as the richest man in the world in that time period, he says this about habits, the power of habits. The individual who wants to reach the top in business must appreciate the might of the force of habit and must understand the practices of what creates habits. He must be quick to break those habits that can break him and hasten to adopt those practices that will become the habits that will help him achieve the success he desires. So what's a habit? Well, a habit is something that you do without thinking. And we all have them. You know, you come home from work and you're talking on the phone, and at the same time you walk through the door, you grab something to eat, you turn on the TV, and you sit down and you're talking still on that phone. You didn't consciously make the decision, oh, let me grab something to eat and flip on the TV. You just did it out of habit, right? So, you know, there are two kinds of habits. There are habits that serve you, and there are habits that don't serve you. So brushing your teeth is a habit that serves you. Biting your nails is a habit that does not serve you. Okay, grabbing an apple as a snack serves you. Grabbing a bag of chips as a snack does not serve you. Okay, getting up early, praising, appreciating others, putting away a small amount of your paycheck for your retirement, that all serves you, right? But staying up or getting up late, which, you know, whining, complaining, criticizing others, spending everything you make, that doesn't serve you. So, you know, these are habits that are formed from little conscious decisions you made in the past that over time have become automatic. And so, you know, they're habits from our daily lives. They were compounded over time. And it's very important to understand this because we can change those habits. We can change them and do what we need to do that will move us toward success that we so desperately want. Okay, so, you know, all it takes is knowing where to focus your energy and your time. So if I say to you, don't think of a purple elephant, don't think of it. You just thought of a purple elephant, right? That's because what you focus on, what you're trying not to think about, is what grows because you're thinking more about it. I say don't think about a purple elephant. You have no control over thinking of a purple elephant. So the best way to change, and it's the same thing with a habit. It's the same thing with a habit, right? The more you try and break a habit like smoking, the more you think, I'm not going to have a cigarette. I'm not going to have a cigarette. I really don't want a cigarette. I don't want a cigarette. I don't want a cigarette. The more you want a cigarette. All right? And so you can take that bad habit that you want to change, and instead of just focusing on not doing it, we replace it. And so I'm going to give you 7 pretty much life and death kind of habits that you can develop, that you can replace those not so good habits that are not serving you, so that you can have overall success in your whole life. So the first habit is show up. Just show up. Have you ever heard of the expression, do the thing and you will have the power? Basically, show up. When you talk to people who have had success and you ask them how they did it, inevitably, every one of them will say, I decided to do it and I did it. They showed up. So if you're committed to doing something every day, to show up every day, that's half the battle right there. And by simply showing up, you can rise above half the population in any circumstance. Habit number 2, be consistent. You know, Woody Allen said 80% of success is showing up. But Jeff Olson, the author of The Slight Edge, wants to add 2 more words to that, and I totally agree with him. 80% of success is showing up every day. So if you show up every day, no matter what, the rest is up to skill, knowledge, and execution. Number 3, habit number 3, have a positive outlook. This was a huge struggle for me because I was born and raised a pessimistic. I expected the worst so that whatever happened wasn't so bad. But what I learned from experience and what I read from other people's research is that, you know, approaching the events of everyday life with a consistent positive outlook really moves you towards your goals. People who consistently practice seeing opportunities out of problems or instead of problems, people who focus on the best in the situation rather than the worst, people who notice people's good qualities instead of their bad qualities, and people who see the glass as half full are happier, more creative, they earn more money, they have more friendships, they have happier, longer marriages, they have less heart disease and stroke, and they're more successful in their careers. Attitude creates action, creates results, creates destiny. It's important to note here that creating a positive outlook does not necessarily mean that you're always happy. I mean, life happens, right? Life happens. It gets in the way. It gets you down. But that doesn't mean that you're going to walk around living in denial with a smile on your face. But understand, you know, that you would never know love if you didn't know loneliness. You wouldn't know what's good if you didn't know what was bad. You wouldn't know what happy and content feels like if you weren't sad. So, you know, adversity will knock at your door. Sometimes it will budge right in, you know, what's that word? Not budge, but like barge right in, okay? But we need to embrace it because it will make you stronger and it'll make your life richer. So habit number 4, be committed for the long haul. You know, there's those 90-day weight loss programs out there, right? And so, you know, they get results. They work. The problem with them is that it's not enough time for you to build that belief in yourself that you can do it after the 90 days are over, right? We need the 360-day plan instead. So, the Slight Edge, it advocates consistently reading 10 pages a day, which in 365 days a year will be 3,650 pages. If you read a book that is powerful, positive, at improving your life, and you read 3,650 pages, that's over 10 books. Can you imagine how much better your life would be after 1 year? And then add another year onto that, and another year onto that, and in 5 years, can you imagine how much better your life would be? That is being committed for the long haul. And farmers know this. They know that, right? Because they sow their seed, and then they cultivate, and then at another season, long season, they harvest. Entrepreneurs, they want to plant the seed and go straight to harvest without waiting. And sometimes that cultivating period is a longer period of time. But, a lot of us, we go into being an entrepreneur for 3 months. We're going to try it for 3 months. If we're not successful after 3 months, then, forget it. I'm going to quit. Nobody's successful after 3 months. I'm sorry. So you have to go into business with that I'm going to be in it for the long haul mentality. Now, in his book, The Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell has traced the actual amount of time that it takes to become, an overnight success of superstars, everyone from like the Beatles to Bill Gates, and he found that it's a 10,000 hours that you need to put in of practice to become a master. So, Michael Jordan, he didn't practice, basketball for a week and say, all right, I'm a superstar now. He didn't practice it for a year or 5 years or 10 years. 15 years he played basketball. He practiced, and he got really good, but he put in his 10,000 hours. So, what if you don't want to have that outrageous mastery, of whatever? You just want to get good. You just want to see some success. You don't want to be like the next billionaire. You just want to make some money. You want to pay your bills or whatever. Then you still need to put in like 2,000-3,000 hours of practice. You can't walk in 3 months later, say, oh, well, I tried. So, number 5, cultivating a burning desire backed by faith. Now, desire is good, but it's not good enough. So what do I mean by that? Have you ever wanted something and then the feeling passed? That's why they say you want this dress, put it down, wait 24 hours. If you still want it, then you can go back and get it. Well, chances are you're not going to want it anymore. And that's because what we desire, the feeling will go away. We want that shiny object. So we finally get the shiny object, and then we want that shiny object. We don't want this one anymore. So that's a cycle. And what we need to do is we need to develop a desire that burns so deep inside that it drives us for years. It gets us up early in the morning. It keeps us up late. It's what motivates us through adversity, through problems, through failure. It's a desire that can move mountains and change the course of rivers. All right? And so what's the key to harvesting this kind of burning desire? It's your vision. Most people, they wish for things, but then they can't really see themselves getting it. The few who actually do succeed, they can see themselves attaining that goal. They can feel it. They can just hear it, taste it, smell it. They can just clearly have that vision. And so if you want to create that burning desire, then you need to have a vision and focus on that vision. So what does burning desire backed by faith mean? Well, it simply means not hoping or wishing for this goal to happen. It's knowing that it's going to happen. Just knowing it deep down. Not I think, not I wish, not I want, I'll try, but just knowing you're going to do it. You're going to succeed. All sorts of obstacles are going to be thrown in your path. You know, successful people look at problems as opportunities. A burning desire that's motivated, a burning desire is what motivates you to confront those problems and not turn and run away from them. It's a burning desire backed by faith that actually takes you through those obstacles. So, habit number 6, be willing to pay the price. Sorry. Be willing to pay the price. Some people hear that statement and think, I don't have the money to pay a price. And some people hear that statement and think, oh, great. What do I have to sacrifice? Do I have to sell my TV? Do I have to give up my fun or my downtime? And, you know, if you follow the slight edge, doing those small decisions every single day, then it's baby steps. And your big sacrifice doesn't have to be this big sacrifice. It's small. But there is a price to pay. There is going to be something you'll have to sacrifice. And I know this very well because when I started my online business 2 years ago, I was the person who watched TV 6 to 8 hours a night. I worked full-time, and then I relaxed in front of the TV all night long. And when I started my business, then I gave up a couple hours of TV and worked my business, and then I watched TV. So maybe like 4 to 5 hours of TV. But when I really got serious, when I really decided I want to succeed, I want to be the leader I know I can be, then I had to redirect those hours. I got rid of cable. No, I didn't get rid of my TV. I still watch an hour or two of TV a night. But I gave up 4+ hours of TV viewing time to build my business. So what does that equal? 4 hours a day for 7 days a week is 28 hours a week. 28 hours a week times every week. I'm sorry, 28 hours a week times 4 is over 100 hours a month. 1,200 hours a year that I'm building my business that I wouldn't otherwise be building my business if I watch TV every single night. There is sacrifices you have to make if you have a goal, if you have a burning desire backed by faith. Habit number 7, practice slight edge integrity. Now, we all know the definition of integrity. It's honesty, truthfulness, congruence between your words and your deeds. But the slight edge integrity is what you do when no one's watching. So you work all day, you come home, you are exhausted, or you've been traveling all day, you've been home like at the wee hours, you've been at an event all weekend, you're exhausted, but you committed to reading 10 pages a day. of a book. You just want to go to bed. You walk past that book lying there and you think, I'm so tired. I really don't want to read it. Nobody will know. It's not a big deal if I skip 10 pages. And you're right. It's not a big deal, and no one's going to know. But that's when you find out who you really are. In that moment's decision, when no one's watching and no one will ever know, when your choice is so slight, so insignificant, it's at that moment when you find out whether you have slight edge integrity. Slight edge integrity is one of the greatest secrets of entrepreneur success. When you own your own business, there is no one screaming in your ear to make the sales calls. There's no one making sure that you keep on top of your vendors, that you keep the books straight. There's no one but you. So if there's no one but you, without the integrity in the little things, every day, every single day, then a new business will not succeed, period. So show up consistently, with a positive attitude, be prepared and committed for the long haul, cultivate a burning desire backed by faith, be willing to pay the price, and do the thing you committed to doing even when no one's watching. That's how you create those habits, and that's the habits that you need to create to build a successful business. So there we go. I'm going to turn it to the panel now and see if they have anything they want to say. Who wants to jump on?
I'll jump in here, Michelle. Like I said, I stepped aside, but I heard everything that you said at any rate. I've never rested as easy as I used to since I read this book, because I always remember that, yeah, I don't feel like doing this, tomorrow I'll do double or whatever. And then I think it's just as easy not to do as to do as not to do. And if you have the slight edge integrity, for God's sakes, get up off your duff and do it. So there's that piece. Something else. I guess this is kind of tangential. It doesn't literally fit into this habits, but I think it's something that's very essential for success in business, and that is a plan. And maybe it kind of is covered in here in a way. It's part of your being committed and what have you. Yeah, I guess it would fall under that one. A lot of things fell into place for me over this last weekend while we were at this event. And, it's stuff that I've known, I've heard here and there, and you learn it as you go along. But it just became so crystal clear that one of those things is having a plan. And Napoleon Hill refers to that also. He says, knowledge is a waste of time unless you organize it. And to me, organizing knowledge means making a plan. So there's that piece. The other thing, too, you spoke about having the burning desire backed by faith. And we were fortunate enough to have, as you know, Dr. Joe Dispenza as one of the speakers. And he speaks about more than as if, but see yourself where you want to be, as you said, Michelle. Have belief, faith, know that you can be there, but actually be there. Be there in your mind. See yourself, well, you said see yourself there, but live it. Live it like that's who you are. And it's hard sometimes to make that jump because, you say, what the hooey are you talking about? I can't do it unless I'm there, or I can just pretend, But it's more than that. There's more than that. And he gave so many examples in his book from his family, his kids, who have done that, and my God, they manifested things beyond belief. Incredible things. So, yeah, you laid out a great set of habits here to develop, and appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem. I can't wait to find out what happened at the event. I was unable to go, but that's okay because there's like a gazillion photos and videos that everybody took that I've been able to follow. So awesome. Anybody else want to jump out?
I know, Ellie Walsh here. I'm laughing because I'm thinking, oh my God, this is what we talked about. And then beyond that, you know, at the event, and it's true, like with Dr. Joe and you know, being in that, and here's what I'm really excited about, and we're going to get off of here when when we go over to the team meeting, we're going to talk about it, because the reason why people don't have habits like this is they're just not raised that way. That's why that book, The Slight Edge, is so good, because he tells you just, here's what we have a tendency to do. You have none of these habits, and you go, okay, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm changing my whole freaking life. Okay, I'm going to do this, do that. You ain't doing none of it. Or you might do a little bit of it. And in 3 days, it's gone. Or it's gone because you don't have a habit to do it. You know, you have a habit. In essence, you have a habit not to do it. It's not just that you don't have that habit. You have a habit not to do it. So I think that shift, even looking at that, it's a different way to look at it. So, you know, there is now, we're going to be talking about the system that we all work with. There's coaching programs coming out. The coaching programs are all different levels and personalized, not cookie cutter. Okay? And the cool thing about that is if you're working with somebody and they're working with you, again, not this cookie cutter, because you'll see all this coaching stuff on the internet and it's cookie cutter. In essence, you start creating habits. That's what, so these people are working with you and they're putting out a plan. You got to do the work. They ain't doing it for you, right? But you start creating habits. And that's, you know, you got to do it more than once or twice, you know. So this coaching program that we'll be talking about later is really fabulous, because it's not just for, oh, just for what you're doing. No, it's for people in business, period, right? Brick and mortar people could actually work in a coaching program, but people that are doing any kind of affiliate marketing, network marketing, MLM, and the whole thing is, the real goal of it is to learn some skills that you're learning, right? But create habits that take you where you want to go. And that's what it is. So I just want people to remember, the only reason why you're not doing it is because you actually have a habit to not do it. Good topic. Thank you.
I'm jumping in. Jamie, New Jersey Internet Mogul. How are you? If it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. It's my favorite thing, right? I think I say it like one out of every other hangout. I wind up saying that at some point. And I'm jumping in because right off of what you just said, when she said #1 habit is show up, I think that's like what they redefined the words show up to me. Like, you have to show up. It's the first great habit. And showing up isn't just being like, I'm here. Now what's gonna happen? No, show up. Like, bring it all. Put it all out there. Put it on the table. Do the shit you don't want to do. Oops. I mean, do the stuff you do want to do. Do the stuff you don't want to do. Whoa, it's been a crazy weekend with Ellie. I have to detox my mouth. I blame you. So yeah, show up. And I was writing down a little note on how people come into home business and they try it for a couple months and they go, it didn't work. I'm out of here. I tried it. You know, first of all, if you really tried it, you'd still be at it, right? Because you try until you get there. But second of all, I think about businesses, like brick and mortar businesses, franchises. In 3 months, they're not turning profits. They're just not. They're not turning profits in years sometimes, right? Yet people come into home-based business or online business and they go, been at this for a year or so. Doesn't work. Where's this mentality that it should work just because you don't have a overhead of a property or something, or inventory or something? Like, you still need, it still takes time. So yeah, whoa, she's got the big gulp out. I was just gonna pull her in. Michelle, my kid is having a king size 3-year-old tantrum. That's why I have to keep, like, I'm like, ugh. So that's it. You got a short one from me tonight, but that's just my thoughts on this very fantastic topic. Oh man, can I go back to Austin or what? What's going on?
This time you're bringing me. And I'm staying in your room, Jamie.
Oh my God. I don't even want to, so many things I don't want to say right now.
Jamie doesn't like to share her room with anybody. So, Greg, did you have anything you wanted to say? I know you didn't come in at the beginning, so didn't know if you wanted to share anything.
Sure, I would love to. Can you hear me? Okay. Cool. Yeah, I would love to, actually. I read the Slight Edge book probably about 2 months ago. I love it, and it definitely had an impact. You know, I've read over 100 books in my life, but I have never read as consistently as I do since reading that book, so I'm a big fan of it. Another really good follow-up complement to it is a book called The Power of Habit. I'm not sure if you've read that, but it really breaks down the anatomy of a habit and how it works. And I think it's really, in my mind, the perfect complement to the Slight Edge book, because I think the Slight Edge really talks about the importance of instilling good habits. This shows you how a habit works and how you can change it, what the cues are that drive your habits, and what the reward is for every habit as well. It's very, very interesting read. So I would recommend that to anybody who has not read it or listened to it. It is definitely one of my favorites for sure. But I guess just something I would like to interject based on what I learned in the group, from the group last week, is, and it just hit me today. You know, when Ellie talked about the old story being over, which I talk about in all of my coaching sessions now. It's only been a week, but man, I've talked to probably, I don't know, maybe 8, 10, a dozen people now about that particular concept, and just started working with a family for the very first time. So what I do is I show people how to gain focus and create a life that they love by identifying what's called their primary question. So that's what I do, is I walk people through and show them how to identify the primary question in their life. I've done it with about 60 individuals so far since I started doing it earlier this year, but I just started working with a family, and the new family mantra is, the old story is over. So they're all on board with it, they're all excited, and the thing that really hit me today is, again, going back to, you know, what I learned from the group last week, is just as it's easy to talk yourself out of something, it's just as easy to talk yourself into something. It's just a question of the words that you choose and where your focus goes. But you know, I've been coaching for 10 years, and you know, everybody probably saw my post on Facebook about, you know, what I learned from the team last week and what an amazing impact it's had in my life. But it's, I mean, I don't know if it's luck, but I had the best sales week of my life, or I should say my life, of my new business, you know, in the past I started 6 months ago, basically. Best sales week, and it's only Tuesday. Is that luck? Is it coincidence? Is it because of my strong power of belief in what I'm focusing on? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I just love how present I am by talking about how amazing my life is right now, and not waiting for that day to come, so to speak, because I realized how fortunate, I've always known how fortunate I am having a healthy mind and a healthy body no matter what, but this past week, talking about how amazing my life is, how lucky I am to have what I have, to have the freedoms that I already have that I've been yearning for when they were all right there, right along. Like the realizations that I've gone through in the last 7 days have been amazing. So I'm a big fan of the Slight Edge book. I highly recommend the Power of Habit book, and you can talk yourself into anything. Is all I wanted to share.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I've got to read that book now. The Slight Edge has changed my life, and it's ruined my fun for the most part because I made all of the wrong decisions, and now I have this little twinge every time it's like, I want a cheeseburger. Damn, you can't have a cheeseburger, or you shouldn't have a cheeseburger. You should have that sandwich instead. It's like, oh crap, you know. And I've had days where it's like, I'm so tired, I don't want to read, you know, whatever. And I know that I am creating that habit, that I am moving my business, myself, and my business forward, and I'm going to be taking myself where I want to be, and in order to do that, I have to change some stuff. And so the Slight Edge and all of this stuff has really helped me do that. And, you know, they mentioned Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he really changed me too. And ever since I heard him a few weeks ago, you know, I can vision myself, like Carol was saying, I can visualize myself where I want to be, and I can experience it, and it has changed everything. It's changed the way I carry myself. I mean, it's just amazing. And so I want to encourage everybody watching this to, number one, read the book Slight Edge. Number two, start replacing those habits that are not serving you with these habits that will. And it's replacing, not like I mentioned before, okay, I want to stop doing this, I want to stop doing this. The more you think about it, the more it's going to grow. Replace. And if you want help with that, then you can reach out with any of us. If you are on the page, you can always leave a comment or a question below, and we will answer you. And if you want to get with us, you have a question, you want to see what we're doing, then click the big green button down there. And does anybody have anything else they want to say before we close it out? Carol?
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on something that Greg just said, and that is, I know for Ellie and me, we made a big jump, a big commitment, looking into the future, as you pointed out here, Michelle. And you could look at it as, yes, we talked ourselves into it, and we could have gone the other way and talked ourselves out of it very easily. We chose to talk ourselves into it, but I also see it as we believed ourselves into it. And that's like the underlying, not the underlying, it's not motivation, catalyst, I guess, that allowed us to talk ourselves into it. So, yeah, the belief and the talk.
Yep, knowing you can do it, not hoping, wishing, praying.
Right.
All right. Anybody else? Ellie, Jamie, Greg? That's it. All right.
If you have a habit of not believing in yourself, you're not going to know. So that's why it's a process. That's why the Slight, and I never read The Power of Habit, so I'm going to look at that. But that's why the Slight Edge is so important, because it is that one where that says, just do this a little bit, and you're creating these habits, because so many people have habits, myself included. I mean, I was one of them that I didn't think highly of myself. I didn't treat myself well. You know, I didn't have really good self-esteem. I don't mean I beat myself up. Well, I do. I emotionally beat myself up. So that's actually a freaking habit. And it's an old story. It's a damn old story. You know, so you actually have to create a habit of those new stories. And, you know, and I know for me anyways, you know, I didn't just get up one morning and it was all ta-da. You know, I had to, you bounce back and forth sometimes, you know, which is, I believe is good because there's self-awareness, and that means you're always kind of leveling up. If you find yourself bouncing around a little bit, even though like you know to do this and you find yourself over here, you're leveling up. I believe you're going to another level. So this is the kind of information we spoke about this weekend. You know, there was technical stuff too, but this was like the main stuff that went on there. And when we jump over here at 9 o'clock, we get on our own hangout. And as Greg was talking about, people have ahas on these hangouts. You know, that's what a team is. That's what a community is for. And we're just here for each other. And we're here to not just grow. When you're growing, you're learning, you're also able to give back. And when you can give back, you're getting, it's just, that's, to me, that's the ultimate. So thank you. Thank you for a great topic.
Ellie, you're so right. I mean, yeah, I forgot about that. You know, when I was new in business, and just a couple years ago, new online business, I didn't know I would succeed. I didn't have that belief about me yet, and it took a while to develop it. In fact, I probably didn't even have it until this year. So you're right, and it might take time to cultivate that belief. It's a little shift. It's learning something, applying it, seeing a little result, getting excited about it, doing that again, applying something else, learning something else, a little result, and little by little those results add up, and you'll start to develop this belief, maybe I can do it. And it starts with, maybe I can do it. And then it will grow into, I know I can do it. I know. It may take me some time. It's not going to be 3 months. But I know that I'll get there. And yes, Ellie's right. I'm sorry. It is a process. You're not going to come out of the gate knowing you're going to do it. You got to develop that belief level, and it starts by making those little shifts, those little slight edge decisions, things that'll move your business forward instead of drag you down. All right. So we are here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern with a great business topic, and we take turns doing it. So I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, and have a great week.